Sakuga soldiers, welcome back to Just Nuts, guys. Today we need to cover the new anime season upcoming. We're winding down on summer 2025, which was jam-packed with a ton of good watches. I watched 8 different shows this past season. I can promise you this, I'm not watching 8 next season, and I still had 3 other shows that I wanted to get to but couldn't. And that's kind of where you got to preface this video, where this season does not look awe-inspiring. It looks okay. There's a couple things, but nothing blowing me away. But you know what? I actually welcome it because how jam-packed last season was. I think it's kind of nice to just get an anime season that's very low key. There's only going to be maybe 2, maybe 3 things I'm watching from this newest season, because some of the stuff that I missed last season I can catch up on. I've never seen Cyberpunk Edge Runners is another thing, with the second season getting announced and how much people love it. I gotta bang out season 1. I really want to get to that. This is a perfect season for stuff like that, especially even looking further ahead at winter 2026, where it already looks like that season might be absolute. So let's start from the top and work our way down. Let's start with the biggest shows and we'll get to the ones that are a little more niche later on. There's not a ton. But at the top here, we obviously have One Punch Man Season 3. It has the most people looking forward to its drop. This one doesn't, however, come without, a couple of red flags, right? There's 2 main red flags to me. The first one is we're looking at a show that after Season 1, which was beloved by almost everybody, switched studios. And then Season 2 was, widely accepted as worse than Season 1 5 years later when it came out. And that's tough to see, right? So that's already a red flag. And this season is done by the same studio who did Season 2. So you're wondering if, you know what I mean? Is it going to be the same as Season 2? You do have another 5 years. Maybe after the first season, they had to pivot super quick, so they didn't have as much time. And maybe they've had more time this time around. I don't know. But that's still a red flag nonetheless that we have to acknowledge here. The other thing that I think is a red flag for sure is this quote. This, I believe, comes from the director of the studio who's doing Season 3. Just this part that I have highlighted. It probably won't measure up to Season 1, but the anime is infused with the creator's tenacity and ingenuity. Please, at the very least, accept that. That is not what you want to hear. Like, this is coming out 10 years later than Season 1. They're saying, don't expect this to live up to Season 1's hype. That's tough to hear. Now, I do still think it could be better than Season 2, and still be plenty, serviceable and hype enough that it works. But these are reasons to temper expectations. I'm still watching, though. I love this show. It's a blast. It's going to have comedy. It's going to have awesome fights. It's going to have hype moments. I'm here for it. Hopefully they do it some justice. Next up, we have Spy Family Season 3. A lot of sequels this season, but 170,000 people still looking at Spy Family Season 3. I'll be honest, for me personally, I have kind of fell off a little bit on Spy Family. I'm going to wait and see where this show goes in the long run before I maybe commit to going through the whole thing. Just this type of story, and I believe based on how long the manga is, it's almost like we're looking at an over 100 episode show, and I'm just like, the type of plot that this show has does not feel like it warrants over 100 episodes. I mean, if you love something, I'm a One Piece fan, so if you love something, doesn't matter what the plot is, I can watch 2,000 episodes of it. But it hasn't roped me in. I like Season 1. It started getting a little repetitive to me, a little bit, and so I've kind of held off on it. I have this on hold. I'm not going to watch it this season, but I know a lot of people are. It deserves some hype. This show is beloved. The characters are great, and it has some really good comedic moments. So Spy Family Season 3, that's going to be another hype one for this season. The third show coming out this season is My Hero Academia, the final season. And what a fall from grace. I feel like a couple of years ago, My Hero was at the top of a lot of people's lists, and it has fallen, man. I think maybe it's just kind of an agreed upon opinion by a lot of fans that these last couple seasons have kind of fallen off a little bit. It's still going to look great in certain points, still going to have phenomenal animation at points, but I don't know. It feels like we're spinning our tires a little bit. I have heard, though, at least, that the manga finishes in phenomenal fashion. A lot of people were happy with the ending for the show. So hopefully that, you know what I mean? They capitalize on that and they finish strong here. That can change a lot of people's narratives on a show like this. If it's kind of been limping to the finish line, but then it just absolutely finishes super strong, that could be really, really cool. We'll keep an eye on it though. 120,000 people. That's almost one third of the amount of people watching One Punch Man season 3, and significantly less than Spy Family season 3. Even that feels crazy to me. I'm almost surprised this isn't the number one show, which how popular I know My Hero Academia has been. But all in all, it's cool. I do plan on watching it. I think I watched halfway through last season, so I got to catch up from that, and then we get into this season. And then I've gone so far into the show. I did love a lot of early My Hero stuff. I do kind of agree with that opinion that like the last couple seasons kind of didn't wow me. But I've kind of committed so far, and this is just such a big show. You know what I mean? It has been so popular for so long that like I might as well finish it up here. So there you go. And the final like top end show that we're going to talk about today is To Your Eternity season 3, like a bunch of sequels this season, but this one is tough, right? We have almost 100,000 people still looking forward to this, which is cool, which is good for the show. I did not watch season 2. I heard from, again, kind of agreed upon opinion that season 2 was not as good as season 1. I haven't seen it. That's part of why I didn't go and see it, because I think I was watching a bunch of other stuff at the time. But I watched season 1. I had a lot of fun with season 1. And maybe just season 2 felt like a lull, and it picks up again for season 3. Who knows? If that's the case, I could see myself getting back on the horse here. I have it on hold for now, but like kind of same thing as Spy Family. If I get told that this new season is incredible, then maybe I catch back up and we make this part of the regularly scheduled program. But it's a fun one. I loved how it started. Just we'll see if they can keep it going. But yeah, that's the last one. There's only really 4 bigger shows this season that are even worth taking a look at here from that perspective. But there are a couple of maybe gems, and I haven't scoured the entire, slate of potential gems. But I do have 2 shows that I've at least gotten like a spark from that I'm kind of curious to see, where, you know what I mean? If they could end up being a dark horse this season, coming out of nowhere and surprising everybody. Let's get into those. So 2 hidden gems I'm going to throw out there. And I honestly, these are coming from me not seeing anything aside from trailers and just the ideas of the shows. And you know what I mean? Like I'm going to keep my eye on them, see if they kind of hit. Maybe I'll watch the first couple episodes, and maybe we'll have some hidden gems in these low key type seasons where there's not a ton of big stuff going on. These are the types of seasons where like some hidden gems can kind of sneak up the rankings here and end up becoming much more popular than we initially thought. So the first one I have here is Wandance. Cool show, cool idea. It's about like a super timid, boy in high school. He lives his life under the radar. He just wants to not draw much attention to himself, just go into school and get out. And then he sees a girl who's able to express herself through dance. Yes, it's like a dance-based anime. I'm assuming there's some romance aspects, which is not in my bag normally. That's not normally my go-to, but there's been a couple romance shows I've watched before that I've enjoyed. So just cool. I think I could easily see a world where like if the animation for the dance scenes is like on point, I could be all over a show like this, and the character writing's great. I could be into it. So kind of a Hail Mary on this one, kind of a sleeper pick, but keep your eye out for Wandance. Hopefully the quality on it's as good as if it can be, I think this show can go. The other one here is Gnosia. I hope I'm saying that right. This is based on a 2019 video game that they're finally making a show around. Gives me a little bit of like Danganronpa vibes, but more serious. Danganronpa definitely wasn't fully serious at times. It's very Among Us coded, right? Like it's about like there's like a murder mystery, they have to solve it, and if they don't, they kind of have to like go back in time and restart the timeline again until they find the right killer. It seems that's all I got from really the trailer. It looks phenomenal just based on the art from the cover and everything. The animation looks phenomenal. It's done by Madhouse, which definitely, or I'm sorry, this is not Madhouse, this is Aniplex, but it looks really promising. And if they execute it well, I could see this one also kind of skyrocketing up people's rankings for shows this new season. So keep an eye on those. Check them out if you're interested, if you think either of those apply to you. But there's a couple of even hidden gems that I think maybe could spring up next season. And that's everything for today. There's not much going on this season. We've covered that. But I still think it's nice to have break seasons like this where it's a lot more low key. It doesn't feel like we have to cram everything in to make sure we're staying up to date on the hype shows. But there's still just enough here to keep us interested. And I'm still looking forward to it nonetheless, especially with a super hype season on the other side of this fall 2025. So we'll talk about that later. Otherwise, let me know what guys want to see on the channel going forward from here. And I'll see you next one. Peace.